86th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select.
That's So Dolphins Talk with John Baker and Trigga Trey Proctor.
We check your pulse if you're not fired up.
Dude, are we good?
Dude, we're the best team in the league.
If you don't have eye black at home, you better go get some eye black.
Oh my god, we're back.
Hello and welcome into another edition of That's So Dolphins Talk. Got myself, Johnny Bake Show, and the co-pilot Trigga Trey Proctor. Huge Fins win yesterday. 5-1 on the season, first time since 2002. And it feels pretty good right now.
It does feel good. I know a lot of the talk has been about who have they played, and I don't really care who they've played because a lot of the talk to start the season was we have the hardest schedule in the NFL, so we play whoever's in front of us, and we're going to perform that way. Or we're going to perform, how we're going to perform, no matter who's in front of us. And again, all those guys also get paid to win football games. So
yeah, it was
feels good.
Yeah, it does feel good. I saw a like somebody on Twitter was saying that it's like the combined wins of the Dolphins wins, like opponents' record is like 4-22.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it showed yesterday that even the 49ers can lose, the Eagles can lose, the Bills can lose.
Should have lost.
And should have lost. Like, I don't. It's any given Sunday or any given Sunday, like we like to say.
Shout out Chad Henne.
Shout out Chad Henne.
Yeah, I think the one thing that was most impressive for me yesterday was just seeing how no one on the team was getting frustrated when we were down 14. Like I think everyone on the other side of the TV screen was more frustrated than anyone on the field. So I mean, not to say they weren't frustrated, but they weren't like screaming at each other, which is some things that you see in some other buildings where the second the team goes down that much, they're yelling on the sidelines, spiking tablets, and it's just like it worries me at first because sometimes I think the team's like, oh, okay, well, we have a track team, so we come out start slow, whatever. Like it's like classic NBA mindset. That's how it feels. It feels like the Dolphins literally view this like a game of runs, and yeah, we might go down by 14, but we'll also come back and win by 10 somehow. Like basketball terms.
Man, I don't like that.
I hate it, but that's what it feels like. I mean, obviously this game next week or this game Sunday is going to be.
It's going to be a bit of a deal.
It is.
I'm nervous. But yeah, the biggest takeaway, that'd be one of my biggest takeaways too, is that, they were down 14 and they didn't flinch. They hung in there. Like it didn't look like they were dejected at all. It was more like, okay, well, we gotta get going here. Like it's now or never. And they just put their head down, grabbed their lunch pail, and they got to work. And 35 unanswered points in the NFL. I mean, it doesn't, even though the Panthers were missing their two starting safeties or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the NFL. The Jets won yesterday without two starting cornerbacks. So against one of the best offenses in the league. So there's no excuse.
We have Liam Eichenberg playing center. So I mean
that
dude, Mostert yelling at him is so hilarious.
That was my favorite part of the day, was him screaming at Eichenturd. But yeah, the fact that they were down 14, you scored 35, you scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, it was a good bounce back. I wanted to sell the team. I said sell the team and move to Mexico.
Dude, you were down bad.
I was down bad. I did not want to lose to the Panthers, and I don't want to lose to the Eagles either. But
this game feels so big, man. I just feel like this. Oh, I know the Bills game is going to be huge at the end of the year, and we cannot continue to lay eggs in big games because then that narrative is going to continue that we do we play down or we anytime we play anyone good so
yeah, that's my worry, is that we've come off a big game, 2 big games in a row after we lost to the Bills, and it's like if the Dolphins lose, they're still never going to be taken seriously in the national media, like you said a couple weeks ago. Like it'll be frustrating if they get blowed out. Now, if they would lose like on like a last second play or something like that, that's gonna suck. But it's not as bad as like, okay, like we played really really well and we just didn't come out at the end. Like that doesn't bother me as much as like getting blowed out in a prime time game again.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like we I'm hoping going into that game. We'll get into it at the end. I don't want to start now.
Yeah,
We're already talking about. Let's
yeah,
recap first.
yeah. I mean, 35 unanswered points, 42-21 was the final. Tua finished with 22 of 31, 262, 3 touchdowns. He was not sacked at all, which is pretty another great thing. You know, you don't have Armstead and you don't have Williams out there, and he didn't get sacked at all, especially with
Nope.
that pass rush. I mean, I feel like we can all agree that the Panthers pass rush, like their defensive line is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought I saw today they were like the 13th ranked defense coming into this in terms of I think total yards and total points.
Yeah, so like it's not a bad defense. I mean, yeah, they didn't have their two starting safeties, which is obvious, but yeah, I mean, another monster game from Raheem Mostert, 17 attempts, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Literally he does not want HN taking his position.
He does not want HN coming back. Like he
Yeah.
is trying to another monster game. Tyreek is still on pace for 2K, 10 targets, 6 receptions, 163. He averaged 27.2 yards
Dude,
per reception yesterday.
he's ridiculous, man. And he would have had more had he not cramped up on that one because he was scoring.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, another there was a Wilkins had 2 sacks. He came alive there, which is pretty good.
Steeler
Uh,
had a sack, Phillips had a sack, Chubbs had a sack.
yeah,
Actually, I don't think Phillips had one. Sorry,
no,
Chubb had one.
Phillips had a couple pressures. Chubb should have had two, but there was holding.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
um, yeah, I mean, I thought is okay. We'll get into the stock down, stock up and stock down. I think stock up. Obviously, though, we've already kind of talked about it a little bit the resolve in the entire team that they were able to put their heads down and come back. I
Yeah,
think obviously stock up right now. You got to think offensive line, but we're going up against they could totally flip by the end by this show next week because we're going up against arguably a better defensive line than what the Bills are, and the Bills ate us up. So, he,
yeah,
I want to say the Eagles stuff to the end. It's hard not to
yeah.
talk about it
I
already.
know. That's all I've been thinking. Literally all I've been thinking about today is next Sunday.
Yeah.
And really, yeah. Oh God. Stock up, stock down, or stock up for me. Offensive line too. Um, I have to give shout out to Alec Ingold. He's playing from like a just like a non big name. I mean, I don't know how to like. It's almost like the offensive line that you never hear about, the offensive linemen, and
Yeah.
you just know that over there making like he's making plays, he's
Mm-hmm.
blocking well. He seems to be like someone like kind of that old dog on the offense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so, it like Tua seems comfortable with him, like having him around him and pass protection, things of that nature, running. So he's pretty vital, man. And especially
He
with I
is.
don't know what's going on with Brooks and his injury. Like hopefully it's not serious, but um by the way, that stiff arm Brooks threw where he knocked two.
Oh,
That was
that
so
was
great.
that was dirt nasty.
Yeah. I mean, stock up across the board offensively. I just think at this point to transition to stock down, like the defense is just going to be bad. Like I
Yeah, the
think that's what
defense
I think.
isn't. I saw a thing today about the defense. So the stock down for me is the defense too, and I'm gonna double down on tackling as well. Like we've said this
So
4 straight
bad.
weeks in a row that tackling is not good. I
I looked
was
at Josh yesterday. I said, "We've been saying it on the pod." He goes, "I
been
know."
we've been saying it every single week. Like the the one thing that I saw today was that the I think it was Andrew Hawkins. He was on Levitar today, and they were talking about how like defenses are at a disadvantage at the beginning, or offenses are not good in the beginning of the season, but they get progressively better and they know how to attack defenses by the end of the year. But he said the way that the Dolphins play, they are giving them opportunity to get better during games than they are like just week to week because they don't have as much pressure to like figure it out or like he basically kind of went around saying like the defense was gonna he thinks the defense is gonna get better. I have my reserves. I think the defense can't get any better. He said he thinks that when they add Ramsey in, it's gonna make everybody else's job 10 times easier because they're not gonna have to rely as much on everybody else because Ramsey's gonna hide a lot of issues on one whole side of the field that they can't cover now. I
Dude,
don't know if I believe that.
I think we need to give Duke Riley some burn at inside linebacker because when he was in when Baker went out,
Mhm.
he was pretty solid.
He was solid last year. He's just terrible in pass coverage. I don't know how many games in a row last year
I
I said
know.
that we don't need Duke Riley out there in pass coverage.
Yeah, he is not good in pass coverage at all. But I like,
It can't be much worse than Baker's playing right now because he's playing like shit. And
yeah, I just
he can get
cannot.
all but
I'm
he can
so
get all
tired of
butthurt
getting
on
run
Twitter all
over.
he wants and start blocking people and not saying and getting all butthurt, but he hasn't played well.
No,
And
and I'm so tired of getting run over. And
like
it's always him
literally,
getting washed out of the gap.
or
He's
him just
always
choosing the
washed
wrong
out.
hole. He
Yes, I
chooses
don't
the wrong gap every
understand.
time. Like I can't. There was the one play where they had that huge run right up the middle, and he just went B instead of C. Like
Yeah.
C was clearly the hole he was supposed to fill, and he just dove in and went to the B gap. I have no idea why he did that.
And then
Like,
the other bit, they had the one big run they had, Ginkle fell over. So I don't even know if I'm even going to count that one. Gink doesn't fall over.
well, no, Gink got hit pretty hard. That guy like gave him a shot right in the shoulder, and I don't think
Yeah.
he was anticipating that. Yeah, I don't. I think that having I don't know if the answer is putting Ginks in the middle, but I'm still gonna say that they need to go find a middle linebacker. Like
Jeez.
they need to either draft one in the draft or they need to go get a big free agent one. Like that's the only answer that I have at this point.
I need something at the deadline because I'm going to be so irritated if we lose a game 45-43 because our defense can't stop a cold.
Well, my other big issue too is that with the defense is that like it feels like we're relying on four-man rush all the time. And I know that that's the defense, but like it just feels like there's Swiss cheese on the back end, and I don't know why that is. Like, like are we just not like hitting our coverages like right? It still feels like I've said this like 4 weeks in a row now. It feels like they're a step behind. I
Yeah,
like
and I,
like if you watch
he
that Jets game yesterday, or if you watch like the Eagles game, like the Jets game yesterday, the Eagles and even the Jets, like those safeties, when they see something, they're coming downfield hard and they're coming fast. And it feels like Holland is not there. And it doesn't
he's just
feel
thinking. He's
it's think
overthinking.
yeah, and I don't know. It just feels like Holland is like a step too soon, or I mean a step too late. And Elliott, he's a like a half step too late because he kind of already knows the system. But it just feels like the whole back end of the defense is just a step behind. And don't even get me
And
started
we're
on
just
Eli Apple because he played.
yeah.
He's really
Oh, so bad.
oh he's
He's
so
so
bad.
bad.
And
We
Kogu
gotta
is
let
not good
I know
either this
Cater's
year.
not good, but we need to put him back in a corner and just maybe chalk it up to Stephon Diggs being an all pro dog and put Cater back in corner and let Nickerson play on the inside because Nickerson looked pretty good yesterday when
Well, I mean, why not? Why are we not giving Cam Smith more burn either?
he
Because
must be bad.
I don't. We the somebody
He's
put up
Noah.
all. Somebody put no. I don't think so.
How
Somebody
he played
put.
so well in the off
That's
season. I don't know, like it.
that's what I'm saying. Like I watched somebody put a cut of every single play that Cam Smith played yesterday, and he was all over the dude, all the plays. Now, granted, it was like 6 plays, but like he played pretty. Like if you watch the film, like he tracked very well. Like it wasn't like he got totally left out in the open like Eli Apple does all the time. But I don't understand why we're not trying to work. Like why aren't we just giving him a chance? Like
Yeah.
you got to figure it out at some point whether he can play or not. Like, and I know that we're getting Nick Needham back, and I feel like I don't know if that's gonna hurt or help. I don't know. I don't know how Fangio feels about Needham. I feel pretty good about Needham. Like Needham, as much as I hated that dude 2 years ago and at the beginning of last season, like he really filled a huge
He was
hole.
like one of our most consistent DBs
Yeah,
outside of
until
X.
right. So I feel like
Dude,
Needham. I feel like he's gonna help too because that just bounces. I feel like that has to bounce Cater out. I don't know. That's just me. Like Cater,
yeah,
like they can't. There's no reason to play Eli Apple once you insert Nick Needham into the lineup and Ramsey into the lineup as well.
yeah, no, 100%. Like if our corners are Ramsey, Howard, Needham in the slot, that's much better. But here's my issue. I'm starting to wonder if, like, are we putting our defensive backs in the right position to be successful? I don't understand why we're playing so much zone. We've like eliminated press man from our arsenal. I don't understand it. I don't.
When these guys were super successful playing man for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and even when we are in man, when it's an obvious man situation, it's that stupid, you know, man cushion where they sit, 8, 7, 9 yards off the ball and play man that way instead of playing that press man. I just don't.
Like if they
I don't
played press man,
understand.
those plays, those intermediate throws wouldn't. It's not even intermediate. It's the 5 to 8 yard throws. I guess you'd call those intermediate throws. Those throws would be taken away, and that's what we seem to get killed with, especially
Yeah,
curl routes. Like if anyone is doing a choice and they're just sitting in it, like it's a first down every single time.
yeah. No, I agree. I just I don't know, man. Maybe I'm hoping maybe we're just bluffing for the Eagles. I'm just gonna come out and shock the world and shut them down. Pitch a shutout against the Eagles.
I mean, we said that last time, and then the Bills came out and put up 38 on us.
Oh my god, dude. We can't have another showing like that.
My problem. Well, I'm going to jump ahead again. I'm going to do it.
But what do we have left in this Panthers game? Let's get to this Panthers game, and then we'll talk about the Eagles.
Yeah. The good, the bad, the ugly. The good
Good,
is
bad,
obvious.
ugly.
Yeah, the good, bad, the ugly is the good is clearly the fact that we already said it. We bounced back from 14 down. Barrios still seems to be a great addition. Ramsey is targeting to be back at the end of the month.
Yeah,
I
let's talk
don't
about
know.
him practicing this week.
Yeah. So they have 21 days from the first day he practices till he's got to be activated, right? And do I have that right?
No,
He's
he
gonna
can practice. He can practice, but can't be when he's activated off the pup, I think.
okay.
Or no, because he's on the no. How does that work off the IR?
They said he
Is he on the
has. I
is
think
he on
he's
the
on
IR or the
IR.
pup?
I think he was on the IR because they put him on the IR because he can be activated after week 4, which we've already surpassed week 4, so he should be good to go now.
Okay.
And they didn't want to put him on long. Yeah, they put him on IR because they only have a couple more IR spots left that they got to save for somebody else. Like if somebody big goes down in a worst case scenario, I think they only have 2 more IR spots for the year to put people on.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's not. Yeah, where the injury bug has fully hit us early, which is as long as it doesn't hit us late. But yeah, I Ramsey, if Ramsey would play that Chiefs game, I think that's a good sign. I don't think he will. I think he'll come back after the bye.
I think the Raiders. I think the Raiders game.
Yeah,
He's back.
get a little tune up before the Jets game.
I think him and Armstead are both back. The Raiders.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. I'd like it a lot. Yeah. The bad. I mean, the bad is okay. Here's the bad. This might even go under the ugly, but that third and short early in the
Oh
game
my
where
god!
when they faked the tush push, didn't pitch it, but threw it. I don't know what
That was
that
the
was.
worst throw I've ever seen in my entire. Like, what is he? I love the idea because I think it would have worked. Like, I think
It
it
would
would have
have
been
worked, but it looked like Mostert didn't know he was going to get the ball.
no, and I don't. I think he expected to toss it.
And he was like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "I guess I better go get it now." Like,
Also, I want to go back. I forgot one thing on the good. Did you see
okay,
Tua got to slap out that jujitsu roll again yesterday?
I did.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah.
Everyone made fun of him, and I think it's hilarious that now he's using it all the time.
It's so great.
So great.
I love the yeah, and another thing to add too, this is this has not been done before. They talked about this on Levitard. Not even the greatest show on turf did this, but the Dolphins through 6 games are first in passing, first in rushing in the NFL. Like
That's insane.
that doesn't happen. Like the latest team to do it was that 2019 Cowboys team. They were second in pass, but they were eighth in rushing. And the greatest show on turf was first in passing and fifth in rushing. Like there's never been a point like
I know it's
where
insane, dude.
it's unreal. Like
It's
yeah.
special. I literally love going into every game and knowing that we have a shot to win it no matter what. Like there's no games where it's like, oh, we can squeak one out. Like I feel like we are gonna go in and win every game. We're not going to, obviously. And like we just can't lay duds anymore. One thing, so back to that third down, our third and fourth and tight goal line. I know we're number one in the NFL in red zone percentages, scoring touchdowns. I think it's 80.8% of the time we score a touchdown in the red zone, which is insane. It still feels like we try to get too cute in short yardage. Like
yes, like just do it. Like just run it.
Give it to Ingold, or Mostert's a big dude. Like give it to Mostert. Like I just don't understand why we get so cute sometimes. I get it. I know he likes to try shit, but and if it works, we're all like he's a genius. But it's just line up and run it, please.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the short yardage situation, third and short is an issue, and it feels like goal line feels like it. I don't think that it is an issue, but it feels like it is, and I don't know why that like it just feels like we're gonna make a mistake at some point. Like we're gonna get too cute. We just can't settle.
Dude, we're 5-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious when we go 14-3 and our 3 losses are the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles, and everyone says we don't play anybody.
If that happens, oh my god, I can't even imagine. I
And
can't even imagine a 14-3 team.
We're gonna be 14-3 and have the number 1 seed in the AFC, and everyone's gonna be so mad because our 3 losses are to those teams.
And then we're probably gonna lose to like somebody in the divisional round.
Oh, okay. I already told you I told you what's gonna happen. We're gonna play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and we're gonna get screwed because the NFL wants Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl.
I mean, I'd be happy winning the AFC Championship game.
I'd love to be in the AFC Championship game, but
I want to win the AFC Championship game, and I want to win the Super Bowl.
This offense is unbelievable.
Okay, let's just quit skirting around with it. Let's get into this Eagles game. Okay,
Yeah.
So as awesome as this team is, the offense is special. We know this. We've said it. It's shown through 6 games that there's something special there. My problem is that when they went to Buffalo, they went into a very hostile environment. They went on the road, obviously, but they said that as loud as it was in there, they couldn't figure out how to get they couldn't figure out the Bills were able to time up the motion and how to attack it. So my fear is that one, Bills fans can get mad at this, but I think that the link is more hostile. Maybe that's just me. It's on par.
The only thing I think that makes the only thing with the Bills Stadium is that the sidelines are so close to the stands.
That is true.
That's a tight field. The link has a lot more room to it. So while it's still loud, it doesn't feel like the loudness is right on top of you. Like Buffalo feels like you're playing in like Beaver Stadium. That's how tight it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't figure in that.
But regardless, it's not like it's still just it's on par with being a hostile environment. And like we now that you say that, that's interesting because I said to you after the game, what happened to all of our pre-snap motion? Like it was gone that game. I would love to see a percentage of pre-snap motion in that game versus every other game in the league or and on our schedule so far, because it felt like it was non-existent, and then we didn't run the ball. So that's where that was a recipe for disaster for our offense, and we knew our defense. Like Stephon Diggs was going to eat, and I hope we have a better plan for him down the road. But we have to look at that same situation. Like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith are good receivers.
Yes.
Um,
And AJ
and
Brown is much more physical than what either of those Bills receivers are.
yeah, and this will be probably the best receiving duo we played, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would agree. I would say that the Bills are more skill based. I think that the Eagles are more talent based because I
Yeah.
feel like the Eagles can just out talent you because AJ Brown is just a super freak and Devonta Smith, like Slim Reaper, like he'll just go. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You got to be able to disrupt him at the line and make him uncomfortable. And plus, you got Dallas Goedert. I think he's a better tight end than what Dawson Knox is, even though Dawson Knox always seems to score 97 touchdowns against us per game. Eagles' run game, I feel like, is better.
I know. The offense is good. What's the Eagle? Where are the Eagles ranked at in offensive categories?
I will look right now. But it just feels like the Eagles are it just feels like the Eagles are much more of a well-polished product than what the Bills are.
Yeah.
The Eagles are right behind us. So we're 498 yards per game. They're 395.
So like
and they're 500 yards behind us in passing yards, and they're like literally right on our heels for rushing yards. So they're just as balanced as we are.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that it's like, it's just so worrisome to me, dude. Like
and their defense is ninth. And ours is like bottom half. Their defense only gives up 298 points a game or 298 yards. So they're pretty stingy on defense. They explode on offense. The only thing that I will say about the Eagles is that it feels like every single game that they've played, they feel like that Vikings team of last year. They were always in every single game, and everything kind of always went their way at the end. And like yesterday with the Jets, it didn't go their way, but they're still going to be like 9-1 by week 10.
Yeah.
So like they're like a sneaky good team that can like once like they haven't put it all together, but like in that December part of the schedule, if they really put it together, they're really scary team.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. Like I don't, man, I hope Vic has something up his sleeve.
Does Vic remember anything from being in the building last year? Like, I mean, he was there. Like, does he got something up his sleeve for that? Like, he said he had stuff up his sleeve. I haven't seen shit out of the old man yet.
Oh my God, the game might have passed him by.
I'm worried.
This is a huge weekend for us football. Penn State plays Ohio State.
Yeah.
Dolphins on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Our primetime woes again.
Yeah. Two big games. Big games. Natty Champ Imps on Saturday and
Super Bowl Imp. This is a Super Bowl matchup potentially.
Potential Super Bowl matchup, yeah, on Sunday night. It's just that the Eagles, man, like that playing in a link is a hostile environment. Typically, the Dolphins do not play well on the road. That just makes me a little nervous. Like I want them to come out. I don't if I'm like scripting the first if I'm scripting that first drive, I want to see them commit to the run. I don't want them coming out throwing 3 straight times. Like I want them to commit to the run and stick to the run. I feel like if anyone's in the building talking to Mike all week long is don't abandon the run. Like don't abandon it. Just stick with it. Like I feel like because he said that all year. Like he said that at the end of the season last year. I didn't commit to the run. I need to run the ball more.
Yeah, and we need to this time.
And that's exactly what happened. That's what happened in the Bills game. We abandoned the run, and that's mainly because we got behind so quickly. But We abandoned the run. We felt like we had to be in a track meet with them, and then they out-tracked us. And that can't happen. That can't happen Sunday night.
Can't happen. Can't have it. Won't happen.
Won't happen. What are you feeling? What are you feeling about the game? What do you think a final score is? I could see us getting blowed out or it being close. If we're saying at the beginning of the season that we would be 5-2 by Halloween, I feel like we would be happy with that. Obviously,
that was
I'd rather
until I
be...
watched. That was until I watched this offense. Now I'm mad at 5-2.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Like this offense is so special. I'm so afraid to waste it because I don't know. What, like I feel like we have magic, and if Vic Fangio wastes this magic, at some point, when does Mike have the wherewithal to say, Victor, I'm not sure what's going on with this defense, but like we're trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
And that does not mean getting gouged by every team we play and going down 14-0 and so on and so forth. Like the offense can only carry you so far. Eventually, we're going to need a defensive stop. Again, I've said it's been opportunistic defense. Problem is, we had no opportunity. Josh Allen was 100% complete percentage going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
There's no incompletions. It's
Yeah.
just like, hey, this is what it feels like. I'm not kidding. This is what it feels like. It feels like Vic is bend but don't break, because if we hold them to 3, we can't lose with field goals. Like field goals cannot beat us. It's like how the Chiefs used to play defense. Field goals can't beat us. Problem is, we're not holding to field goals.
Yeah.
They're scoring touchdowns.
Yeah. They're not just scoring touchdowns, they're scoring touchdowns.
Downs, multiple downs. So many downs of being touched. And I am so tired. I love bend but don't break, but not when it's bend and break.
Oh, buddy, I love me classic EBDBDB defense.
Dude, the BBDBD defense is what we thrive off of.
We do.
But we cannot give up tutties. Like,
yeah. We can't rely on the BBDBDB defense if it's gonna be. We're breaking. We're not even bending. We're just straight snapping in half, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the floodgates. I'm afraid of the floodgates opening on Sunday night, and then everyone's gonna call us frauds.
In my opinion, we have to hold them to under 28 points to win.
Okay. My problem is that their defense is really, really good.
I think we'll score against them because I think they're still going to be down 1, maybe 2 safeties, and I'm not sure what's going on with the D-line. And I know they're going to be missing, at least Lane Johnson's not going to play. So offensively, they're going to be missing some pieces. But at the same time, I think we can score 35.
You think we can score 35?
Yeah. Is it spread out yet?
I have not looked. I don't know if we can score 35. I want to keep I want to keep it realistic.
This offense is unstoppable.
Well, it looked pretty stoppable in Buffalo. That's my worry. What is a spread, Ski?
Hold on, I'm getting to it. Sunday night, Dolphins are getting 2 points. Over under a 52. So that screams a 27-25 would be 52. 27-25 is what they're saying the score is going to be. 27-25 Eagles. I think if we hold the Eagles to 27, we win. So I will say 28-27 Dolphins.
I think I don't want to bet against the Dolphins because
no, you never bet against the. If you bet against the Dolphins, shut the podcast
down. I could. I'm.
So you think if the Eagles score 28 points, we're losing?
Yeah, if we only score 14.
Dude, obviously that's math, but I'm saying you don't think our offense can score with them.
I don't think our offense can score with them if we get into trouble like we did in Buffalo. Like if we get down 14 early and we can't figure out the motion, we give up, we're not committing to the run, we're passing, we're not getting any offensive we're not we're not holding up because like the Bills defensive line ate our faces off, and like the Eagles defensive line is much better. That's my worry. My worry is the line play. Like
True.
I'm not worried about the offense and us getting in position and making the plays. I'm worried that we're not going to have enough time to make plays.
True.
So if we have Connor Williams back, which Sunday this Panthers game was a classic trap game, which
Yeah, and we
should
blew
be
them out.
which should be said that if this was the same old Dolphins that we're used to, they would have lost 28 to 21 or 25 or something like that. Like they would have lost that game easily.
Right. Yeah.
So that needs to be said. But
I'm just thinking, okay, this is a Mike McDaniel legacy game, dude. Like, you can't go into Philly and get blowed out. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't live that down.
no, not after getting blowed out in Buffalo.
Yeah. Can't happen. So put it on the table, Mike. Stay up till midnight,
Burn the boats.
burn the boats, draw up whatever you got to draw up. I understand at the end of the day, if we lose Sunday, I'm gonna come on here Monday and say it's an NFC loss. That doesn't really hurt that much because it's not in the conference or in the division, probably. But it feels like to me like
I feel like people are going to say
Well,
that McDaniel can't win the big one. Like
and
he's
I don't
like,
care if people say that. People are gonna. That's okay. What I don't want is the team to feel like, okay, we walk in here, we beat every team that we should beat, and every big game we shrink.
mhm.
Like that, I don't want that the team to feel that because when you get to the playoffs, every game's a big game. I don't care if it's a wild card.
Yeah.
So, and this. We got to win it. Who
Yeah.
the Bills got this weekend?
I do not know. Who do the Jets got? Like the Jets are like, that their defense makes me a little. Their defense makes me a little worried. I know that a lot of people don't. I know that a lot of people are counting the Jets out, but I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous for this Jets squad. The Bills. Their schedule is they have the Patriots. They're going to New England this weekend.
Jets. Oh my God, look at this cakewalk schedule. See the Bills, dude. We talked about this. They had that 3-game stretch. Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys. That they're gonna have to wake up.
Jets are on a bye, and then they play the Giants.
Ugh. I'm not worried about the Jets. Fuck the Jets. I mean, the Bills have cake. Let's hope the Buccaneers or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. We got to show up. We got to win our games. At this point, we're in first place. We control our own destiny for the rest of the year. So just win football games.
Nervous. But it feels good that we're 5-1. I'll take that every single year. And then some, as long as we don't finish, 5 and 12. But
Shit, dude. There's no way.
If it does, we gotta come back and clip this because we're never gonna live it down.
Yeah.
But no, I feel confident that they will win. I'm worried about the offensive line. So
28-27 pins.
28-27 fins. I'm saying 23-20 fins.
Okay.
All right. Well, Fins got a big win yesterday. We got the big showdown at the Link in Philly on Sunday night. Hope everyone enjoys the game and that we can come back here on Monday and we can have another good one after Finn's Victory Monday. I would love that. I need another one. I need it. And a Penn State win as well.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, please.
Oh, please.
Can we double up this?
Oh, my
Can we
God.
double up this weekend, please?
Oh, please, one time for the one time. I'm telling you, I spoke it into existence. So I'm saying Vegas Knights won the Stanley Chip this year. The Phillies might be a team of destiny, might be on the way to the World Series. Penn State's in the Natty Chip conversation. Dolphins are in Super Bowl conversation. And the Miami Heat are always going to Miami Heat. So my 5 franchises, my 5 teams are all, and our 5 teams, other than you like the Flyers, but
yeah. Let's not talk about the Flyers.
Oh, and you like the Braves too.
Yeah.
Sorry about
yeah.
that.
Really good regular. Well, it's classic Braves.
Yeah, it's classic Braves.
Classic
But
Braves.
this is set up to be the greatest sports year of my life. So, which usually means it'll be the worst sports year of my life. So it's gonna be so much heartbreak, and I'm gonna be listening to Kanye's 808s and heartbreaks for
In
all
the night,
summer
they hear us
long.
talk. Coldest story ever told. To a season so heartless. Oh shit. All right. Well, with that, we will see you next Monday, hopefully for a victory Monday. And fins up.
Fins up.